What is the one and only secret that you need to know to grab and keep your audience's attention? I heard some answers, even though that was a rhetorical question. I appreciate the answer. You can shout it out. What was it? Silence. Okay. Very good. Silence is important, but it's not the one and only secret. So in the next 35 minutes, you are going to pick up one secret that will help you grab and keep anyone's attention at any time, whenever you speak. Sounds good? And you're also going to pick up another 2 secrets to help you inspire your audience. Good afternoon. To you here and those online. So voice has so much to talk about. There are clients who want to sound like Morgan Freeman. There are people who want to sound like Obama. And there are also those, when they are nervous, their voice will be trembling or going high-pitched or fast-paced. Or there are people who want to build up the leadership presence through the voice. So these are the topics in voice that I can talk for 7 days and 7 nights, if you don't get bored. But today, in this short 34 minutes, we're going to talk about something in the category of vocal variety. But we're not going to talk about tonality. We're not going to talk about pitch, pace, volume, or even pause. Then what is it that we're going to talk about? That's what you're going to find out. And before you do that, there's one thing you want to know, and also thank John for helping me to bring up breathing. But even if before you learn breathing, there's one thing that's very important for you to have a good voice. Breathing, even before breathing. Silence, also not silence. So what is it? Then we're going to find out by standing up. Well, standing up, this is where you're going to learn the best voice comes from the most relaxed body. The best voice comes from? Yes. And there's one exercise to help you get relaxed right away, and which is we're going to take a breath in, and we breathe out. We're going to make a big sigh of relief. So let's all take a breath in, and then, thank God it's the last presentation. So take a seat, please. So the next time, before your presentation, before doing some of the exercises that John has introduced, you also want to do a sigh of relief. A sigh of relief. Earlier today, Florian, he talked about CSI. So now we're also going to talk about CSI, but it's not his CSI. Have you watched some episodes from CSI? Okay, a lot of you, very good. So we are having a lot of fans for a criminal investigation type of drama series. And the other one that I like is Criminal Minds. After watching Criminal Minds for 13 seasons, I felt that my IQ was improving. So if you watch those movies or TV drama series, did you realize that when they start in the beginning, how do they start? You can shout it out. Crime. It's a crime scene. Yes, so that's why we investigate. So most of the times is either a dead body, right? Or some type of crime being committed. So when we saw a dead body, then we were wondering, who did it? Why did the person do it? So were your curiosity being piqued? Okay, only a few of you, curiosity being picked. So I'd like to have you face your neighbor and say yes. If you don't have a neighbor, just say it to yourself. So then, this whole episode will take you to find out who did it. And then finally, all the evidence will point to one guy, right? And then we say, it must be this guy. And you look at the watch, it's only 20 minutes past the episode. There's still another 20 minutes to go. So which means it's less likely to be this guy. So then in your head, you'll be thinking, then who is it? Right? So the next 20 minutes, this episode will take you to find out who really did it. But these 40 minutes, your whole attention was on this episode. Your curiosity was picked. So if you want to grab and keep your audience's attention, the key word is, shout it out to your buddy, curiosity. Okay, they already helped me. Thank you. I hope it just appeared, not appeared before I said something. So now I'm really curious when they put this slide up. 5 minutes ago, okay. So similar words like curiosity would be suspense, unexpected, anticipation. So the higher anticipation you build up, the higher curiosity being picked up. And the more unexpected it is, the more people will give you attention. So if you want to grab their attention and keep their attention, that's how our brain works. We work well, our attention will work well when it's unexpected. Now, these are only presentation content or structure that you have learned. How about voice? How do we use the voice to convey curiosity? Do you remember the question I asked in the beginning? Were you curious about that answer? Especially when people give me other answers. So then, besides your content, your structure that you have learned throughout the day, now is the time to use your voice to deliver that. So when you open your presentation, once you wrote your opening line, you want to read it, and then once you finish reading it, you ask yourself, if I were to be the audience, what would be my response? Would I look at this and say, okay? Or when I'm speaking that sentence, the audience will be saying, tell me more. Or how? Or what's next? So you have to keep your audience always ask themselves, what's next? What's next? And how do we use the voice to deliver it? We mentioned that we're not going to talk about tonality, pitch, pace, volume. Because a lot of my clients, they have tried to work on that. And then they told me, Cynthia, when I purposely use pitch, pace, volume, tonality, I found that I sounded weird. I say, if you feel that you sound weird, the audience will feel weird. And you don't want to feel that way. So in another speech, if I give to people who use their voice a lot and often have a sore throat, this is how I open the presentation. So I'm going to demonstrate the two different ways. And you see which one will pique your curiosity. And the first one is, do you know you can speak for long hours without ever losing your voice? Are you curious? And what was going on in your mind? It was probably, okay. Then how about this one? Do you know you can speak for long hours without ever losing your voice? So now you're curious. And in most of my presentations, there will always be people saying, how? Or there will be people saying, Really? So whichever answer it is, it means they want to find out more. So what's the difference in the voice delivery in these two? Now it's quick 30 seconds to talk to your neighbor. Make sure you have one neighbor. What's the difference between those two delivery? So I'll give you 30 seconds to talk to your neighbor. Okay, 5 seconds left. So let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Shout it out. What's the difference that you heard in those two different deliveries? Motion. Emotion. Okay. Passion. Passion. Okay. Movement. With hands movement. Okay. I've learned from the body language. Okay. Anything else? Suspense. Okay. So those are all the results that you heard. What made the results? My voice. So in my clients, especially those who are engineers, no offense to engineers, someone that I'm toggling between boyfriend and outgoing boyfriend, he said that he is also an engineer. So that's so much you need to know about my private life. So that's engineer in my clients will be saying, Cynthia, I noticed when you're delivering with curiosity, your volume was quiet. Your pitch was lower. I said, you're very technical. But voice is not technical. If you are focusing on the technical, then the delivery will be technical. So I'm glad that some of you heard the emotion. So if you want to have curiosity, deliver curiosity in your voice, the key thing is, number one, you need to make it sound like a secret. So when we say a secret, do we say, let me tell you a secret? No more secret. So instead, how do we say the sentence when we tell someone a secret? Yes, I can hear that someone is whispering already. But on stage, you cannot go, let me tell you a secret. That's creepy, yes. So instead, you're only going to go secretive on certain words. So it'd be, let me tell you a secret. So it'd be the same as, do you know you can speak for long hours without ever losing your voice? There are only certain words you make it secretive. So that's one, make it sound like a secret. Number two is very important, and it is so hard in today's world. Whenever I told my clients, they will find it challenging. I said, in order to deliver with curiosity, you have to have fun. Do you find that having fun, especially in business presentations, is challenging? Now it's time to change the mindset, because you can use this right away. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or on Tuesday, 2nd of May, when you go back to work, if you're going to deliver a presentation, you're not going to say, this is our solution. Then no one is going to be interested in your solution. So instead, you're going to say, this is the solution. So on the word solution, you get a little bit secretive. And even better, if you have learned throughout the day and taking notes, here I'll also share with you one more technique, which is also about crafting what you are going to say, so that the way you're going to say will make it even more curious. So instead of saying, this is our solution. So the technique you're going to learn about curiosity is, if you want to tell them something, don't tell them. That's the technique. So if you're going to talk about the solution, you're not going to talk about the solution. You're going to talk about the promise. Yes, very good. Thank you. The promise or the results that the solution will bring. Did I ever talk about the solution? I talked about the result. Do you know you can speak for long hours without ever losing your voice? That's the result. So instead of saying, this is our solution, I say, our solution, if you have our solution, your cost will be blah, blah, blah. Your productivity will be skyrocketing. So that's the way you craft it so that you can sound curious. So what's the technique? If you want to tell them something, tell your neighbor, don't tell them. So that's curiosity. There are two things you need to deliver with curiosity. Number one is secretive. Number two is don't tell them and have fun. So I can see a lot of faces that need fun. So let's tell your buddy, have fun. Make sure your buddy is having fun. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to learn in voice about vocal variety, which is how to deliver with curiosity if you want to grab and keep their attention. And the second about the voice that you need to have in business related that you really want to use a lot if you haven't used it. And this is the technique that will help you to make sure that people will get on board willingly. Now, do you see what I'm doing? So you might be wondering, what is the technique, right? And thank God they didn't review the slides this time. And the voice you want to have is a reflective voice. A reflective voice. So people learn from reflection. So it's not by you telling them nonstop. You have to leave time for people to reflect. And most of the times, you will make people reflect right before you ask them to take action. The sentence can be something as, are you going to go back to continue not preparing a presentation and just feel nervous every time? Or you start to not only just prepare your presentation, but also start to have a banana every time. So that's the reflective voice. You give them choice A and choice B before you ask them to take action. So the question is, which choice would you make? So that's reflective voice, which is just before you ask them to take action, you use a rhetorical question with choice A plus consequences and choice B with benefits, and deliver the sentence with a reflective voice. So reflective voice, did you notice that the volume, is it loud? No, right? It's not loud. Have you wondered why? If we say, are you going to go back and continue to never prepare your presentation and feel nervous about every presentation you're going to have, or you're going to start eating a banana every time? We are going to eat a lot of bananas today. So if you speak in that way, do you think people will be reflecting? No, right? It sounds off-putting. And the reason is because when we are reflecting, do we want to have a loud or a quiet environment? Yes, that's why when people are making noise around us, we will be saying, can you get quiet? I'm thinking. Right? So now I would like to have you practice one sentence. This time, there's no banana. This time, it's just going to be one simple question. And you're going to say this question to your body in a way that makes your body reflect. The question is, what is the one thing that you are grateful for? What is the one thing that you are grateful for? Now, the way I'm saying it is not reflective. So you're going to try it with your body. 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds is up. So I hope your body has made you reflect. And in one of my classes, there was someone saying the sentence in this way. He said, what is the one thing you're grateful for? So that's not a reflective voice. So a reflective voice, in order to make it reflect, you have to be reflecting yourself. So it'll be more like, what is the one thing that you're grateful for? So that's how we make people reflect. Now you might be wondering, be it curiosity or a reflective voice, it looks like the pace is slow, right? And you probably have heard today that a lot of speakers are talking about you need to speak slowly. Does that mean that we will always be speaking slowly? There's no more time that we speak fast? Unless you run out of time? So no, there are times we do speak fast. Now we have all watched superhero movies, right? Wonder Woman, Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, all kinds of men and women. So in superhero movies, most of the times, either the bad guys or the aliens, they will invade Earth, right? So when they invade Earth, what is the city that they bomb? Very good. Yes. So most of the times, they'll be bombing New York City. And then, did you notice that when they are bombing the city, all the skyscrapers, are they falling one by one very slowly? Like, boom. 5 minutes later, the other building, boom, slowly crumble. No, right? How did the skyscrapers falling down? Simultaneously. Yes, they are falling down all at the same time at a very fast pace. Why? Because the movie makers know that the faster pace will create momentum. So today, the 3 secrets that you're learning, they happen to become kind of an acronym, CRM. Curiosity, reflective voice, and momentum. So if you want to build momentum in your speech, you're going to use a faster pace. Not only momentum, but also chaos. Did you notice for the past 3 years, thank God, the COVID is over, but for the past 3 years, not only that we were suffering from COVID, There are also a lot of natural disasters going everywhere around the world, right? There are still climate change problems, there are still hunger issues, there are all kinds of different things. So it's all happening at the same time. Somehow, the universe, the nature also knows in order to shake the human world, we have to give them more chaotic situation. So that's why everything was happening at the same time. So if you want to use your voice to create that chaotic situation, you're going to use a faster pace. So faster pace will help you create chaos, build momentum. And we are going to have 3 sentences to help you with the practice. This is a speech from Winston Churchill. So the 3 victories, and this is how you are going to craft your speeches in the future as well. If you want to build up momentum, make sure that you craft sentences of 3, the rule of 3. So when you have the 3 sentences and you deliver with a faster pace, it will help you build up the momentum, create chaos. So the mistake most of my clients will be making is, when I say faster pace, they will be delivering in this way. Victory at all costs, victory in spite of all terror, victory however long and hard the road may be, for without victory there's no survival. Do you feel the momentum? No, right? That's not creating momentum. That's only faster pace, and it's like quick wind, nothing was left. So when we say faster pace, we usually deliver it with still some keywords standing out. So I'm going to deliver the 3 sentences with momentum, and you see the difference. Victory at all costs, victory in spite of all terror, victory however long and hard the road may be. Is it a little bit different? So what's the difference? Okay, yes, very good. So we have a very observant audience. So you notice that there are words being emphasized, even though it's faster pace. So that's one. And then a bonus point, the 3 sentences will help you build up momentum. It's not going to be the same way of delivery. You're going to escalate the emotion. Victory at all costs, victory in spite of all terror, victory however long and hard the road may be. So you're going to escalate the emotion by a stronger volume, faster pace. That's how you build the momentum. And of course, this will require you to have a lot of breath. So even though that breath is very important in voice, we're not going to talk about it because of time. And but you feel free to check out my YouTube channel. There are many videos. There are a total of 261 videos. There are many videos that I talk about breathing. So you can just go to YouTube and search Cynthia Voice Coach. You'll be able to find my channel. So that's the importance of breathing. But we're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk more here is escalate your emotion. So remember, in the beginning that I said, a lot of my clients, they'll be delivering with a very analytical, technical way. So here, even though we pointed out like a stronger volume, a faster pace, what's most important is you need to feel the emotion. So here, the emotion is this charged up determination. Victory at all costs. So it's determination. You can have the techniques, but if you're only adopting the techniques without feeling it, it's like you're putting on a suit which is not fit for you. Then you're adopting some voice that's not you. And how do we make the voice still you? It's by you feeling it. So tell your body, feel it. So it's the emotion that determines the vocal variety. And when we talk about emotion, again, emotion is being driven by the breath. And you'll notice, for example, when we are angry, how do we breathe? When we are feeling calm, how do we breathe? So there's some homework for you. This fun homework. So when you go back for the next few days, observe when you are experiencing certain emotion, how is your breath being changed? That's your homework. And with that, we'll close the session. And unfortunately, we don't have time for Q&A, but fortunately, we will have a panel discussion. So feel free to ask your questions. And feel free to connect with me on all the social media. And also, as the final speech, I would love to give you some gifts. So you can connect with me on any of those social media platforms. And for the first 20 people who will send me a message on either of them, you will get a free digital copy of my book, Influence Through Voice. Because the physical copy, I don't have it either. So you will get a digital copy, or you can go to Kindle, get a copy. So for the first 20 people who will send me a message, I will send you a free copy. And with that, remember, it's not just what you say, but how your voice delivers it. And most importantly, you need to feel what you're speaking. Thank you.